Hello everyone and welcome back to our 30 days Python learning series. So I hope you are enjoying learning Python step by step with me. In day 1 we learned Python basic and setup. In day 2 we understood variables and data type, and now today we are entering a very important phase of Python programming: control flow and decision making. So this topic will teach you Python programs how to think and decide just like humans do. So by the end of this video, you will be able to write logic-based programs, make decisions using Python, solve real-world problems, and confidently face interview questions. So let's start today learning journey. So first question is in our mind. So first, let's understand what is control flow. Control flow means the order in which statement in a program are executed. In simple word, it decides which code should run, when it should run, and under what condition it should run. So for example, in real life, if it is raining, so you take an umbrella, else you go without umbrella. Similarly, in Python, if a condition is true, so Python executes some code, otherwise it executes something else. This is why control flow is extremely important in real life, like banking software, login system, result processing, and we can say that e-commerce website. So these are the real-time examples where we using Python control flow. So we can understand this with one more concept, like our traffic signal. If it is showing green, it means we go. If else, then we stop. Okay. So why can't we write all code without condition? This question in our mind. So we can understand this because real system need logic. Without condition, your program cannot decide what is correct or wrong. So that's why we have required conditions. Next thing, what we have going through the topics like difference between if and elif, nested if versus elif, and logic operator. So we can go one by one to understand every concept. So let's open my Visual Studio Code here. So first go through with our if statement concept. So now let's understand the first conditional statement if. So the if statement check a condition. If that condition is true, Python execute the code and return inside it. So what is the syntax for there? We can go step by step. So for example, this is if condition, okay, and here we have our code we can write here. So notice one important thing here, indentation. Python uses indentation instead of curly brackets. And if indentation is wrong, your program will not work correctly. So let's go through with some demo. So for example, my age is 20, okay, and if age is 18, then you are eligible for vote. So we are getting these type of suggestions, so it can be help you to understand better. So this is a normal code. I have just put one condition. So here Python check if is age greater than or equal to 18. If yes, then it print the message. So let's run this code. So you are eligible for to vote. Okay. Now the scenario is that if this condition is uh, false. So what happen if condition is false? So how this condition we can fall? Like I can put here less than age. I put here 17. So now if I run my code, so you are getting nothing. Why? Because we the Python simply skip the block. Nothing is executed. Okay. So now what if we also want to do something when the condition is false? So that is where else come into picture. So for else, we have right here else and print you are not eligible to vote. Okay. So here Python check the condition if true. So if true, then our first block is running. If false, so else block is running. So this is extremely useful in login system validation, pass fail, and we can say that in our ATM pins, we can use that. So for example, if I am running that one, so we are getting you are not eligible to vote. So this is if condition and here. Okay. So can we write else without it? So no, else always belong to an if. If we try to write this else, so for example, I can show you. So we are getting the error. Okay. So it means else always belong to an if statement, then we can write the L. Then move to our if, elif and else. Okay. So now what if we have more than two condition, and that is when we use elif. So in elif, so if we understand better that one, so just go here and understand this problem like I have getting marks in math 72 for example. Okay. And if marks is greater than 80, then grade A 80 or 90, we can write that one. And here I have put Elif. It's called else if. Okay. So if Mars is greater than equal to 80, so grade B, greater than equal to 17, so grade C, else if, and the last one is ELF, grade F. Okay, so I can divide it into this whole statement into five different statements. So Python check condition from top to bottom. Top to bottom, first it is going to this block, then this block, then this block, and then this block, and then else part. So you can use as many elif as needed. So for example, here we have a 72, and if I run that one, great, see, I can change this with other number like 55 I can put here. Then it is going into our last block. Okay, so we can write elif many times. So it's as per your need, you can use that one. So this is a best example for if understand the if, elif, and else statement. Okay, sorry. Next, move to before moving to nested if, we can understand the comparison operator. In my last video, I have already discussed these things, but today I can revisit that topic. So comparison operator. So these are the comparison operator. Okay, this is equal. This is not equal sign. This is greater than, less than, greater than is equal to, and less than equal to. So now we go through with one demo. So these operator always return true or false value. For example, x is equal to 10, y is equal to 20, and if print, we are getting false for that one. Here we are getting true because x is not equal to 2. If we go through with the greater than, we are getting false, and if we go through with the less than, we are getting true. Okay, so these operator always return true or false values. Next important part, when we want to check multiple condition together, and we use logical operator. So this is comparison operator, and if we go through with our logical operators, and or not. Okay, so for example, we have a student, and their age is as 25. Okay, and he's citizen of USA. Okay, or we can say, so here we have using and condition. Okay, so why we so here we have differentiate, like we have put our first thing is our first requirement is greater than equal to 18, and citizenship is required USA. So if the both condition has been satisfied, then we can print you are eligible to vote. Else you are not eligible to vote. So difference between and or. So better for and all condition must be true. Like here we have defined one, two, three. If I use any other condition, so all three condition if going to true, then we can get the results. And or if any one condition is to be true. So for example, if I change and with or, so because one condition we are getting true, so that's why it is getting this result. I have changed this age, like I can put 15, and here I have put UK. Okay. So what happened in that scenario? Because both condition is false. So in that scenario, we are going to else block. You are not eligible to vote. Okay. To more understanding, I can change only one value. Here I have put 18. So this suggestion it can help you to understand code more better, and in Visual Studio Code this thing is provided. Like so, you are eligible to vote. It means through the or condition, if any value is, oh sorry, okay. So one condition it is find true 18. Okay, so that's why we are getting this one. So this is a difference between our and or statement. Now next move to our nested if. So for nested if we can understand like that if a student getting marks 85 and their attendance 90%. Okay, so these two things are required. So if mark is greater than equal to 15, okay, and if attendance is greater than 75, then you have passed the exam. Else, print you failed due to low attendance. So here eligibility depend on two condition. One is mark, second is attendance. Okay. So this is a best example for nested if statement. So Python also provides shorthand if also called ternary operator. Okay. So this thing how we can write that same code we can run written like that also. So I can create a variable result is equal to pass if mark is greater than 50 and else fail. Okay. So here we are getting the output as a pass. So use this only when logic is simple and small. Okay, so that is the another way you can do that. And next we understand how we provide the user input and write one program with that. Okay, so for example we start something. Go to our first programming, print even and odd. Okay, so I take a num variable here is equal to int and input a number. Okay, so here we have defined first variable num. Okay, here we have put integer value. That's why we are using int here. This is a class, int class. If you go here, convert a number to string to an integer or return zero if no argument. Okay, so that's why we are using here. And here we have put our formula in if else statement. So if this variable is divisible by 2, so then it is even, and else odd. So let's run this program. So here we have getting option to provide your input. So like I have put here 5. Here I have put 5. So this number is odd. Okay. And if we provide any, sorry, if we provide any even number, so for example, I can provide 12 in terminal. So we are getting the number is even. So this is your first example to print it even and odd number. Okay. Now go through with the real time second example. Find the largest of three. Okay. So in this way, here we have provided three inputs. Here we have provided three inputs. Okay. And we going to comparison with these three data. So if A is greater than B and A is greater than C. Okay. So print A is largest number. Okay. Else if B is greater than A and B is greater than C, then we print B is largest number, and else print C is largest number. Okay. So now understand this with. So in this program, what we have getting three inputs from ABC, and here we have comparison. First in first block we are comparison A. In second block we are comparison B, and if both block has been filled, then print the C. So let's understand this one. So here we have provided first input as a 10, second input is 9, and third input is 56. Okay, so what we getting? 56 is largest number. We have third number paired. Okay, let's go with another example. So here we have provided Here we have provided the 56, 34, and 52. So 56 is largest number. Okay. So this is your second example. So I can go through with a third example for our login system. Okay. So for example, we have a username. We have, so first we require two things for our login system: username, password, and if username is equal to admin and password is password 123, then login successful. Else invalid username password. Okay. So this is one more example. So here we have provided the string value. Okay. So I can run that one. So username is admin. Okay. And password is 123. So login successful. Now we will understand this. Put some wrong thing. So I can put here test and data 123. So invalid username or password. So these three example, I think you are more comfortable with the things how we can go through this. So you can do some practice on that and understand the change the value. So now the question for you all. So what is the control flow? This is first thing. Then difference between if and else if. These are interview questions sometimes asked by the interviewer. What is nested if? Why indentation is important, and when to use logical operator. So today we learn how Python make decisions. So these concepts are foundation for loops, function, projects, data science, and AI. So in day 4 we will learn loops in Python. So thanks for staying here. Like, share, and subscribe, and comment your doubt. Happy coding. Thanks. Bye.